In this lesson, we'll learn about how to extract the user inputs and how to make a decisions to determine exactly based upon what inputs we need to give the results. So usually we refer these user inputs as arguments. So let's see that. For example, where the use case we can use these arguments. Till now, we have seen only commands like server info. So if someone gives a server info command, we are returning back the server information. If someone gives a user info command, we are returning back the user information. What if the user gives a command along with an input? So how to react, how to extract what is a command, what is an argument. So let's see that. For example, if user do like this, like kick the user ID. If we do this part, so here the kick is a command and user ID is known as a argument. How to extract both of them? So we have two parameters now, so we can have n number of arguments like user ID 1, user ID 2, like that. You can also kick the users, so in this way as well. So these are known as arguments. So how to extract what is a command from that and what are the arguments? So let's see that. So now I'm taking a variable constant arguments. I want to keep all my arguments in this variable. How to extract the arguments? So I will write a message dot content, because whatever the user types that will come into message dot content. So after that, I want to trim this message. What does this trim do? If any spaces in front of this command or after this command, so these spaces would be removed. So that's the reason we are using trim here. All this space or this space would be removed. So message dot content will give entire this command. And now we are removing if there are wantedly or by mistake any spaces are there. We are trying to remove that in front of the command, and after the command we are able to remove the spaces with the help of this trim method. So once you could able to trim the spaces, you need to split the command, because you need to understand what is a command and what are the arguments. So that's the reason we are splitting this command with the space. So what happens here? I'm taking an argument. Now at this line we'll be having, I will write step by step lines. So at this line, what happens is arguments will consist of an array, which will be having kick as a first parameter and user ID 1 as a second and user ID 2 as a third. So this would be the state where once we write this, we are splitting the command in by with the help of spaces. So if it finds some space split with a space, so it takes it as a new argument. I mean new value. In that way, it will construct this array. So now arguments we got, all the arguments we got, and we got an array like this. So now we need to extract the command from this, because these are arguments. Not this is not an argument. This is an command. This is not an argument. This is a command. We need to extract this command, and we need to make sure all the arguments will should reside in the same way. So for that, I'm taking one more constant command. So I need to extract the command from this array. For that, what I need to do? Array arguments dot arguments is an array. And if I use shift method, what does this shift method do? It will remove the first element from an array. Now I am going to remove this kick from the array. It will remove and it will return that first element. So what happens at in the one shot we could able to do two things. Like here, now what happened is I'm writing a commands like this. So in the command is equal to what this command will get. It will get kick, because arguments is a array dot shift. What does this shift do? It will remove the first element in the array. It will return it back. So that's the reason in this command now we'll be getting this one. Along with that, it will remove the original array. In the original array, it will remove that value. So in that case, now the arguments will be like this. So now we could able to separate out the arguments and command. User command and arguments are separated in this way. See, now in the command only you have kick, and in the arguments you have user ID 1, user ID 2. So in this way, we could able to extract this user command into listed out these commands like this, and we could able to listed out the command like this, arguments like this, and command like this. So now we have this one. In the arguments, we have what all the arguments needed. In the command, we have what all the command we need. So let's do. So now just I'm trying to convert them into the lower case, so that if they give in the upper case as well, in the lower case, it doesn't matter. We are trying to convert that entirely into the lower case. So next, again, we need to write one more if else condition to make sure this works. So I'm writing message dot content is equal to, let's take here the command as not content. We are taking here as a command because we have extracted the what command we are going to do. So we need to use command here, not message dot content. If there is only one message, so you can use message dot content. Now we are dividing that in two phases. So I'm using command this variable as a condition. If that condition is arguments info, so if someone says argument info and if they pass some value, then we need to extract them in these two different ways. So let me print that. So message dot channel dot send. So here I'm again using a template literal. So I'm trying to say that what is this command? The command name. What is the command name? We are using dollar flower basis to extract the command. So here the variables can be used in this way. So later on, I'm taking a new line, backslash new line, and I'm trying to tell what are the arguments here he is providing. So in here, I can give the arguments list, the variable. This variable I can give the arguments list variable I have given. So let's see how it works. So now if I give args info and if I give this is sample arguments. So if you see, this is what the input I have given. This is a command. Args inf is a command, and these are the arguments. This space each space samples arguments. These are the commands. Now you can see the bot replied to me saying the command name is args info and arguments are this or everything we got in a comma separated, because all these are existing in the array. So we could able to get in this in an array. So what if the user doesn't provide any of the arguments? Just if you give arg info and if he not provide any of the arguments, then bot doesn't know what to do, how to react. So that's the reason we need to check if the length is not there. If the arguments are not provided, we need to ask the user to provide the arguments. So for that reason, I'm writing one more condition here in the same state. So here I'm taking the arguments dot length. So because arguments here, if you go up, the arguments is an array. I'm checking whether the length is 0 or not. If the length is 0, it means the user has not provided any value. So that's the reason I'm checking if the length is not equal to 0. So there I need to return back the message. Message dot channel dot send. Now I'm asking the user to provide some parameter, provide arguments. I will be asking the user to provide some arguments. Please provide some arguments. So I will also say message dot author. I will also say the, so here itself we will be returning back if the length of the array, so array length is 0. If the length of the array length is 0, then we'll enter into this if loop and we print this to the user and we will be returning back. So let's see that arguments info. If I not give any of the arguments and if I click enter, so it is asking me to provide arguments at the rate Suresh. I also mentioned the author name. So in this way, we can control the arguments and the user inputs. In the next lesson, I will try to explain further. We'll continue.